Hello, my little night travellers. It's me, Luna, your storyteller under the glowing silver moon. Tonight I have a tale that might make you think twice before making a deal that seems too good to be true. But before we climb this story's twisting vines into the clouds, I need your help. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and ring that little bell so you'll always know when a new story is ready for you. Now, have you ever wondered what would happen if a magical plant promised you everything you ever wanted? Fame, power, riches, but demanded something you didn't know you'd miss? Let's find out in tonight's tale, The Beanstalk Bargain. The Beanstalk Bargain. Ethan and Riley were cousins, the kind who couldn't be more different. Ethan was bold, loud, and always looking for shortcuts in life. He wanted to be famous, admired, the kid everyone looked up to. Riley, on the other hand, was thoughtful, careful, and more interested in books and stories than popularity. One hot summer afternoon, the two found themselves wandering near the edge of town, where an old flea market sprawled like a maze of dusty treasures and forgotten trinkets. Ethan was impatient. "Come on, Riley. There's nothing here but junk," he said, kicking at a box of cracked porcelain. But Riley had stopped, staring at a strange old woman who was hunched over a stall covered in mossy jars, wilted herbs, and seeds. Not just any seeds, the woman croaked when she noticed them. Her eyes glittered like wet stones. "These are sky beans. Plant one, and it will grow higher than the clouds. Climb it, and you'll find treasures you've only dreamed of." Ethan's eyes lit up instantly. "How much?" The woman leaned closer, her voice dropping to a whisper. "No money needed. Just a promise, a tiny bargain." Riley's stomach twisted. He tugged Ethan's sleeve. "Let's go." This sounds weird, but Ethan was already grinning. "A promise. Easy. I promise whatever you want." The woman's smile was thin and sharp. "Then take them, boy. But remember, the higher you climb, the steeper the price." That night, while Riley read quietly by the window, Ethan planted one of the beans in the backyard. By dawn, a massive beanstalk had burst from the earth, twisting and climbing so high it vanished into the morning clouds. Ethan could hardly contain his excitement. "Riley, wake up! This is it. Treasure, fame, everything. We're climbing today." Riley hesitated, fear prickling down his spine. But when Ethan began climbing without another thought, Riley sighed and followed. The climb seemed endless. Leaves the size of cars swayed beneath their feet. Wind howled through the stalk like a ghost's breath. Hours later, they broke through the clouds into a world unlike anything they'd seen. At the top stretched a land of golden fields, rivers of silver water, and a castle that glowed like it was built of pure crystal. Ethan's jaw dropped. "See? I told you. We're rich." Inside the castle, long halls glittered with treasure, coins, jewels, crowns, and goblets. Ethan ran wild, stuffing gold into his backpack. Riley, however, noticed something strange. Along the walls were portraits, not of kings or queens, but of children. Each looked frightened, reaching out of the frame as though trapped inside. "Ethan," Riley whispered, "I don't think this place is what it seems." But Ethan wasn't listening. He had found a throne room, and on the throne sat a giant, not a man, not a monster, but something in between. Its skin was pale like marble, its eyes hollow, its grin too wide. "Ah," the giant's voice rumbled. "Another climber, another dreamer." It leaned forward, its teeth flashing. "Take what you wish, boy. But remember, every treasure here has a cost." Ethan puffed out his chest. "I don't care. I want it all." Riley stepped back, his heart racing. He suddenly understood. The portraits on the walls were other kids who had climbed, who had taken treasures, and who had paid the price. "Ethan, stop," Riley begged. "This isn't real treasure, it's a trap." The giant chuckled. "Oh, clever boy. But too late. Your cousin made a bargain when he took the beans, and bargains must be kept." The ground shook as vines burst through the crystal floor, wrapping around Ethan's legs. He struggled, screaming. His backpack spilled, and the gold turned to brittle leaves before their eyes. "No!" Ethan shouted. "This isn't fair!" The giant's grin widened. Fairness was never part of the bargain. Riley thought fast. He remembered stories of old bargains, tricks, and riddles. Taking a shaky step forward, he faced the giant. "Wait, you said the beans cost a promise. Ethan promised whatever you want. But you never said what you wanted. That means the bargain isn't complete." The giant paused, tilting its massive head. Its hollow eyes blinked slowly. Sharp tongue, little one. And what do you suggest then?" Riley swallowed hard. "Take the beans back. Take your vines. But let Ethan go." He didn't know what he was promising. The giant leaned closer, so close Riley could see his reflection in its black pupils. "And why should I let him go? What will you give me, little clever one?" Riley's voice trembled, but he stood tall. "I'll give you the one thing you can't take. The truth. I'll tell every kid I meet never to climb, never to bargain. You'll get no more foolish dreamers if you let us go." For a long moment, the giant was silent. Then, slowly, it laughed. A deep, booming laugh that shook the castle. The vines unwrapped from Ethan's legs. "Very well," the giant said. "Go. But remember, promises grow like vines. They never truly vanish." Ethan and Riley scrambled back down the beanstalk, not daring to look back. By the time they reached the ground, the stalk had withered, curling into ash. Ethan sat trembling, his usual bravado gone. "Riley, I was so stupid. I almost got trapped." Riley put a hand on his cousin's shoulder. "Sometimes the fastest way isn't the best way. You can't take shortcuts to everything you want." Ethan nodded slowly. For the first time, he seemed humbled. "Thanks for saving me. Next time, I'll listen." And somewhere, far above in the fading clouds, a deep chuckle echoed faintly, as if the giant was still watching. And that, my dear listeners, was the Beanstalk Bargain. Ethan learned the hard way that shortcuts and reckless deals can come with hidden prices. Riley reminded us that wisdom and courage often save the day more than greed or bravado. So what's the lesson? Never make a bargain you don't understand. And remember, true growth comes from patience and effort, not from climbing someone else's shortcut. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap the little bell so you'll never miss a journey into the shadows with me. Until next time, my night travelers, dream carefully and beware of promises that grow like vines. Good night.